Tischler here. First of all, thank you for letting me come here, but this fight that we have, this little problem that we have, doesn't just affect the community over here. It affects the entire Boro Park, and it can continue further. And just for your knowledge, this is exactly what I do, fighting the DOB and the city agency. The community board does not have any say in the matter of whether the city's going to do it or not. It's your city council that can stop this right off the top of the bat. Problem is, our city councilmen are not helping us too much right now. We need to scream at your city councilman. Not only the city councilman of your district, but of all the districts, including the one that is not part of you. Now, the person who controls the community board right now, community board is made up of a few different districts, but the person who has more votes, more people that are signed to a community board 12 is Kalman Yeager. He's the councilman that controls this. If his people vote to stop this, then his people, it stops here. Because community board does not say yes or no, it still continues forward. But if the community board suggestion says not to continue, then it stops. Then the recommendation to the city and so on will stop. We can stop this in many different ways. Number one, they are not in compliance whatsoever. And Barbara Goldsmith, it's not that they're bringing in the homeless. It's going to be worse. Low-income housing is acceptable. If they want to give their people on the list in Boro Park, the list of low-income housing for years. Those are the people that should be getting those apartments. What they're going to do is not only bring in the homeless, but break these apartments up into 2 or 3 different rooms. Put 3 different homeless people in there, into one apartment. A lot of these homeless people are lost. I understand that. And that's a problem that we have. They're putting them in carts, they're sleeping on the streets. They don't belong here. They belong to be in special centers, not in shelters, which are terrible, because I know, because I've been to many of them. They need to be helped to be replaced back into society. Well, they're just going to take the people off the street temporarily, and they are going to go in this community. And a lot of these homeless, which you don't understand, they also have issues with children and stuff like that, that we have to be very, very careful. And we're not checking their history or records. When a tenant rents an apartment, we usually check their history, their credit history, and criminal records. We're not going to be doing that. They're going to be bringing them in here. So you're not saying just 600 people, there's going to be more, because there could be 3 different homeless category people into one separate apartment, 3 different dwelling units. Plus, it's not even compliance what these guys are doing. You're making these places into like mini hotels without without sprinkler systems, without compliance to code. They're breaking all the codes. Again, we have to be screaming all over the place. Right now, the plan of action is the person who controls the community board 12. Right now, Kalman Yeager has the most votes there. We must tell him that we must not allow his people to do it. Community Board 12 has to say we don't recommend this. If they stop it, they can't really go much further. They can push it through the city council. And of course, you know, there's 35 new councilmen coming in. So when the next election comes up, wake up, vote for a new councilman, and scream and holler that this should not continue. Especially when I get into city council, this won't continue. It's the first thing I'm going to stop, because I live here. And I've been in Boro Park for over 40 years. I've seen Boro Park expand and grow, and I've seen the neighborhoods from 20th Avenue grow, from 44th Street where I lived, which was terrible neighborhoods, and I've been helping many of the stores and housing and people getting their vacate orders lifted and stop work orders lifted, so I know what's going on here. And if you know, some of the buildings that are under construction or what have stop work orders had no right to continue, and they still continue to work against the regulations of the DOB. And none of them are really in compliance for a homeless shelter to have homeless families living there. Maybe a low-income family can live there. They also want to change the zoning, which means they'll turn it into a hotel, or you can have homeless shelters here. Right now, it can't be done. If the Community Board 12 approves this, they can then go to the zoning people and change the zoning for certain buildings. Not all your houses. That means you can't sell your house and build a big building anymore. Only these particular addresses that are on the list or whatever get approved. So we have to scream at the community board. The problem that I have with the Zoom meeting is I think only 50 people can hit the Zoom link. That's what I heard. I know there's the telephone call-ins as well. The problem with the Zoom meeting, it should not happen as a Zoom meeting. We should tell Community Board 12 to postpone this, to stop the vote on this for now, and to postpone it when we can all show up in person, when we can sit here like over there and scream and holler and each one talk. By doing it on a Zoom meeting, either you'll be blocked off, you'll be knocked off, you'll be hung up, or you won't be able to get through because there's only so many people that can get through. We must stop this January 25th and have them, we have to call and scream. We all have to call 851-0800. We all have to speak to them because they're all gonna tell you a story and a lie. Yeah, we're gonna listen to you, we're gonna take it under consideration, but it's not going to be under consideration. And we need these schools, but not only the schools in this neighborhood, we've got to attack everybody. Boro Park, it's gonna spread. Don't think it's these 8 houses. It's gonna be many, many more places. You know we have a homeless shelter now on 12th Avenue and 36th Street that a lot of you guys don't know about. And a lot of criminal actions that have happened over there that I've been watching them. We're not stopping it. We just let it go. And you know what the answer to me was? Well, Boro Park should be happy that we only gave you one on the outskirts. It's not really on the outskirts, 12th Avenue and 36th Street. But that's what they told me. Be happy we only gave you one. And they're sneaking this in. They're sneaking this in, and I can't believe that when I made the video and started talking to them, they're just laughing at me. Well, we're gonna go through community board. They're here to trick you. They're here to let this go through, and a Zoom meeting is unacceptable. Yes, Rabbi, we gotta call in, we gotta scream and holler that day. But I'm telling you now, a lot of you are not gonna get through, and there's only 50 of us that will be able to get through. We need to sit in that community board meeting and look face to face to them in the eye and tell them, do not pass this. And the first person you should call, I like Kalman, but the first person you should call is start screaming at Kalman's office. Kalman Yeager controls Community Board 12. Why would they let the Bill A-146 even be read again on January 6th? Bill A-146 is a stupid bill that would allow, if any of you are sick in your home, and I decide to call on you, as you know, 301, we can do anything we want, I call on you and you're sick, they can come to your house and say that you're not well. We can remove you under the mental health rule, pull you out of your house and put you into a detention center. Do you understand that I can rip you out of your home or family member and put you into a detention center if they feel or deem it's proper? That's it. You're not even gonna get a hearing. So why is this happening? I don't know. Why he's allowing it to happen? Maybe he didn't know about it. No, so New York City and New York State is 2 different things. We can control this through city regulations. DOB, DOT, DOF, we need to go in there. I have his number somewhere.
853-2704.
You gotta call his office, he's not picking up, but you gotta.
853-2704.
853-2704. You gotta call him, you gotta say, we want this meeting, and Kalman controls the meeting. It's not only Barry Spitzer.
How could he be not aware of this?
What?
How could he be not aware of this?
How can we, you're asking me the wrong, asking the
asking-
wrong guy.
no, you
I
say
mean,
that-
you know how many other issues we
telling
have?
us that the
Do you know
board-
that we have in Boro Park, Flatbush, Ridgewood, Brighton Beach, and Sheepshead Bay, $48 million in fines from your inspectors? I'm not talking 1 million, 2 million, I'm not talking about the whole city. $48 million in the last 2.5 months that were issued to our stores, to our yeshivas, our shuls, just like that. And some of these inspectors don't even get in. I have one place that has 203 complaints. 200, let's just imagine that each time an inspector comes out at $25 an hour. $10,000 is just lost income, and none of these 337,000 government employees have been put on furlough or let go from work or lower the budget. We have 5 agencies. I'm not even talking about the 312 government agencies. I'm talking 5 agencies like the Department of Buildings, Department of Transportation, Department of Health, Department of Finance, and Department of Sanitation that all have duplicate commissioners, duplicate chiefs, do everything. All you have to do is combine those agencies and we save $2 billion in monies. Now you can say, Heshy, how could you do that? Well, if you notice during this virus like that, here's the topic. Here's the topic. Your councilmen control all of this. Your councilmen are their bosses. Kalman Yeager can tell Community Board 12 where he is the boss, where he placed most of his members. If you like, there's different councilmen. He can tell them, I control this vote. This is the first time that we have power with your councilman that's not part of your district. Stop the vote completely for now. That's the only solution I have. Because Community Board 12 is not gonna vote. They're gonna give in to this homeless shelter developer.
Who is the developer?
Number
23.
21 city management.
Who's ook management than the developer?
The developers.
What is that? I want to put Khan in there. Before you get it.
Anyways, my dear friends, get on the phone tomorrow, the whole week. And we just don't need the 6 months. We need the big boys. We need the guys in Boro Park. We need guys from the big organizations that control Common, that control all of these assemblymen, and say, come on, this time, stand up for us. Thank you very much, Rita.
Let me, well, what is it? Just listen to let me put it.
By the way, I am